What up, Raffleaders? Welcome back to my channel. We're back on Heroes Highway here in Rome, taking a look at the new developments along this most rapidly developing highway in Guyana. Well, this is looking north towards Georgetown. We've come from that direction. You can see in the distance that building is the new 4 Points Hotel, and next to it that is the new Ministry of Housing headquarters being constructed by Sheriff Group. And over on the other side, that's a warehouse. We're at this dangerous intersection. I've covered this intersection in the past, explaining why it's dangerous. There are no turning lanes. And here, this is traffic heading into Georgetown from the East Bank. So all of this traffic used to be on the East Bank Public Road. Now it's on this bypass road, Heroes Highway, which makes this the busiest road in this neck of the woods, probably in Guyana, because all this traffic coming off of the Demerara Harbor Bridge and coming from parts south as far as Tamari and Linden, all this traffic now finds its way onto Heroes Highway. Now on the other side, this building we visited that building previously. That's the Houston shopping complex. Let's go take a look at a previous video where I visited the shopping complex. It's now open, and there are stores operating out of that complex. And on the other side, in the distance, that's a new warehouse. That's a new warehouse building here in Rome. And all this traffic heading into the city. Now we could talk about roads. We could talk about construction. See, on this side there are lots of new construction activity. Land is being cleared and sand, foundations and so on being laid. I can only assume that it's more warehouse type buildings going up. But we can talk about road construction as well as the access to this land. I pointed out previously how this land has been sold for $150,000 US per acre, 30 million Guyana dollars per acre. That's the price the government claims that they charged for the land which they sold to Ed Ahmad. 30 million Guyana dollars is 150,000 US dollars. Now if you go online, you search for land in New York, say land.com, you look for land in New York, just New York State, you'll find that there's lots and lots of vacant land available and for sale, and it's a lot less than $150,000 per acre, which begs the question, why is land in Guyana more expensive than land in the United States? Why is it that the government claims that it can charge the Ahmads $150,000 per acre for land along this new highway? That's a question that we're still seeking answers to. How is it that land in a third world country like Guyana is more expensive than land in New York? And I have advanced the that it has to do with corruption. Because the only way you can charge that amount of money for land and get away with it is if the land is part of a money laundering scheme. So what I'm saying is that the price of land in Guyana being that expensive is probably money laundering. And the reason why money laundering is a good answer, a reasonable answer, is because if you're laundering illicit money, illegal money, money you gain from fraud, then you're likely to lose about 50% of it just to clean it, just to wash it. And the way that works is you buy something like land in Guyana with the cash, and then you take that land and you sell it legitimately, so that you have a legitimate record of how you obtain the money. And so my argument is that the reason why land is so expensive in Guyana, why the government can claim that it's selling this land for $30 million, is because of money laundering. Now, I'd be happy to understand, as you hear from you real estate experts and so on. There's always real estate experts in the comments coming up with their own explanations for everything. Tell me why you think land is so expensive in Guyana. Like I said, I think the reason why land is so expensive in Guyana is because of money laundering. This is another intersection here on Heroes Highway without a turning lane. So if there are no turning lanes, traffic backs up in the fast lane or the passing lane because there's no way for cars to go. If you want to turn, you have to stop in the fast lane, you have to stop in the passing lane, as these guys are doing on a motorcycle here. It's kind of dangerous. You have to stop in the passing lane and then wait for a break in the traffic to make your turn. And that means traffic gets backed up in the passing lane. People still can't understand that. So if you're looking at this and you can't understand, ask for explanations. Don't ask why I'm criticizing. I'm saying these things because this is what you should be seeing when you look at this highway. You should be looking at, if you're a driver that is, you should be looking at how easy it is, how safe is it to use this highway and isn't safe. And that's part of the reason why there are a whole lot of accidents, some of them fatal here in Guyana. This is a new warehouse building. This is almost completed. Actually, the last time, or the first time we saw this warehouse under construction, it wasn't clear why they were building it here and what they were building, but now it's just one of several here warehouses in this area. We're heading south because eventually we're going to run into the entrance to the new Demerara River Bridge, and we want to take a look at what they're building there at the intersection of Heroes Highway and that access road to the Demerara River Bridge. So that's why we're heading south. But like I said, a lot of this land, coming back to land, a lot of this land was sold to certain well-known associates of the government. And the reason why none of this land is available was publicly listed or tendered is because they were sweetheart deals with the friends of the government. I pointed out what happened in 2015 or 2020, right? So this highway was built since 2020. And what happened in 2020 is the government, that is the new government that is now in charge of the country, revoked all the land sales that was done under the coalition government. So they came into power in 2020 and revoked the sale of land that was done in the previous government, done by the previous government. They revoked the sale of land and they prosecuted a lot of the ministers in the government. 5 years later, if you look at what they did, is all of this land is now in the hands of supporters of the government and friends and family of the government and people like Ed Ahmad, who is a convicted felon in the United States. And the question is why? Why is it that they can sell this land for exorbitant amounts of money, that is $150,000 US per acre, and boasted, the government is getting $30 million per acre for this land? Why does it make no sense? It makes no sense because in America, Ed Ahmad can buy land for less than $30 million Ghana dollars per acre. In other words, if you go to land.com and you just search there for available land, vacant land in New York State, you will find there are thousands of acres of land available in New York at cheaper than $30 million an acre. Some of it as low as $6,000 per acre. So why would a guy pay $150,000 per acre for land in Guyana when he could buy land in the United States for $6,000 or $10,000 an acre? And the reason is money laundering.
Distance 3.
It's because
hour 9 minutes 48 seconds. Pace 28 minutes 52 seconds per mile.
That's traffic coming off of the east bank. So a lot of this traffic coming off the east bank is morning commuters heading into the city. So yes guys, what we're saying is that the only justification for spending $30 million an acre for land in Guyana, the only reason why you would spend $30 million an acre for land in Guyana would be because you can't spend that money in the United States. Because you can't spend your money in the United States, but you can spend it in Guyana and return the legitimate cash to the US, it becomes land, that is real estate, becomes a very useful avenue for money laundering. And that is my explanation for why this land is so expensive and why it's unavailable to Guyanese. In other words, people who live in Guyana, Guyanese business owners, Guyanese builders, developers, Guyanese home builders, people who want to buy land to build their own homes, can't get access to land because a lot of it is being used for money laundering. But that's it guys, that's what's my theory on this. Share in the comments below what you think is the reason why all of this land, which is now available for development, is being sold to Americans and friends of the government who live abroad. Share this video with friends and family around the world. Let people know what's happening in the fastest growing economy in the world, Guyana. Later.